Great news coming out of Virginia, because the culture of death in Virginia is being dealt a very tough blow by Glenn Youngkin, the Republican governor of Virginia here. The man I thought was a kind of moderate Republican in Virginia is now pushing for a 15-week abortion ban in what is a very blue Commonwealth.
You've said you've proposed a 15-week ban. Will you ever pursue a full ban on abortion in Virginia?
Well, the reality is that as a pro-life governor in a state like Virginia, where I have a Senate that's controlled by Democrats and a House that's controlled by Republicans, we have to find a way to get things done. And I believe that's what we've been able to do, is get things done at a time where you have to bring people together in order to make progress. As I said, I believe life begins at conception. In Virginia, we've got to work with a Senate and a House. This is what we've been doing.
But will you ever pursue a full ban?
Well, I believe that what my job is to get something done. And I believe we can get a 15-week pain threshold bill done in Virginia for the first time. Think about it. This was a state, again, that just 18 months ago was talking about enabling abortion all the way up through and including birth. And now we're able to talk about a 15-week pain threshold bill where a baby feels pain. This is a remarkable moment for us, and it's an opportunity I'm not going to let go.
Great answer from Glenn Youngkin here. He's not willing to take the bait and give the Democrats some big scare quote. People are going to point to this. The Democrats are going to point to this and say, see, he's not a moderate. Glenn Youngkin's not a moderate. He's a far right-wing radical Republican. No, he is a moderate. He is still a moderate. What's so amazing about this is that the center has moved. The center has moved to the right. The moderate position on this issue has moved with the overruling of Roe v. Wade. This is where we always talk about it. Politics is downstream of culture. Well, this is a great example of culture being downstream of politics. This is a great example of the law being a teacher and shaping the culture and shaping the democratic dialogue as well. Back when Roe v. Wade was in place, this 15-week abortion ban would have been a radical, far-right abortion ban. This would have been like the Mississippi law that brought Dobbs to the Supreme Court in the first place. After the overruling of Roe v. Wade, now the scope of the debate has broadened so much. Rather than just trying to debate, okay, can we ban abortion at 20 weeks or 18 weeks or 15 weeks? Now, look, there is no constitutional right to an abortion. So now the question is, do you want to ban abortion entirely, or do you want to allow abortion entirely? And Glenn Youngkin has staked out the moderate position of a 15-week abortion ban that just 2 months ago would have been a radical far-right position. This is great news. This is largely thanks to the pro-life movement in Mississippi, certainly, all around the country. This is thanks to those conservative justices. This is thanks to Donald Trump and other Republican presidents who got those justices on the court. And this is thanks to the courage and prudence of Glenn Youngkin. Had Dobbs not come down as it had Roe not been overruled, Glenn Youngkin would not be able to push for a 15-week abortion ban. Now he has that ability. I bet Glenn Youngkin probably would pass a total ban on abortion if he could. That's not where the Commonwealth is. That's not going to work. But now the center has moved, so we can do it. So let's keep pushing, guys. Let's keep moving that center further and further and further, because moderation is a wonderful virtue. We've just got to make sure that the Overton window is such that moderation is in a truly good, moderate, virtuous place, and it's not all the way far out on the left, like the left had shifted that window so far for the past several decades. Right now, go to beamorganics.com/Knowles. You go to Beam because I am about to give you a dream. Literally, I'm going to give you a dream. Did you know that a poor night's sleep can cause weight gain, mood issues, poor mental health, lower productivity? Some reports say that less than 6 to 7 hours of sleep per night can lead to reduced white blood cell counts. White blood cells protect our body against illness and disease, fighting viruses, bacteria, a whole lot more. Not a lot of people realize this, but having a consistent nighttime routine is very, very important. A better tomorrow starts tonight. That's why you got to check out Beam Dream. Beam is one of the world's most innovative functional wellness brands with unique products for everything from sleep to focus Today, our listeners get a special discount available for Beam's sleep product, Dream Powder. Their best-selling hot cocoa contains premium ingredients, triple lab tested. You wake up refreshed. 98% of people surveyed fall asleep faster when taking Beam Dream. 99% of people experience better sleep quality. Just mix Beam Dream into hot water or milk. Stir, enjoy before bedtime. They've got a brand new delicious summer flavor of Dream Powder, sea salt, caramel. It's just absolutely magnificent. You can go check it out right now. If you don't love it, you get your money back guaranteed. For a limited time, get up to 35% off when you go to beamorganics.com/Knowles. Use code Knowles at checkout. BEAMorganics.com/Knowles. Use code Knowles at checkout for up to 35% off. I'm really impressed with Glenn Youngkin. I think conservatives can learn a lot from Glenn Youngkin, who is ruling with an iron fist. No, he's governing as a conservative in a blue state, and he's doing it pretty effectively. There are more ways than one to skin a cat. So you can get things done through orders from the governor's mansion, you can get things done through legislation, you can get things done through the courts, and you can get things done just by running the bureaucrats out of power. 300 Virginia government bureaucrats have quit since May. Why have they quit in the last 2 months? They've quit because Glenn Youngkin told them that they had to come back to work. That was it. He didn't pass some draconian new regulation or rule. He just said, okay, guys, you've been sitting at home for 2 years. Now you have to come back to work. And 300 of them quit. Employees from 5 different state agencies resigned after Youngkin's new show up to work policy. And a lot of them cited the telework options and the loss of telework options as their reason for leaving. This is really smart. An important issue that no one is talking about, 0 people are talking about, but it was an important issue in the early days of the Republican Party, and every so often it crops up as an important issue, is civil service reform. That name doesn't sound very sexy, but what we're talking about is the administrative state, the deep state, the career government workers who get to continue to govern us, whether the elected people come in or they go or they change parties, or no matter what happens to the electeds, the permanent governing bureaucrats remain. And we need to reform that system. The civil service needs reform every so often. It's long past due for reform right now. One way to reform it, make them come back to work. And then they quit their jobs, and then maybe we don't replace them, or maybe we institute some new rules as to how we hire those bureaucrats. Personnel is policy. The people who are putting your policies into place have a lot of power over how those policies look. So you got to make sure you've got good bureaucrats in charge. You're never going to get rid of the bureaucracy. You can trim it around the edges, you can change the way it looks, but you're not going to get rid of the bureaucracy. That is a libertarian pipe dream. It's not going to happen. So you've got to make the bureaucracy work for you. This is a very, very big country. I'm not just talking about Virginia here. We're talking about a country of 330 million people. There is going to be a bureaucracy. So how are we going to make that bureaucracy work for us? We can reform the way people are hired. We can reform the kind of power that they have. We can reform the way that they can make rules in the agencies. But we've got to do that because that is where so much of the government actually happens. It's not usually just the bill up on Capitol Hill and I'm going to something. It's not that. It's not Schoolhouse Rock, okay? It's not even just the judges. The judges have a lot of power, but most of the power is in that bureaucracy. So we've got to take some lessons from Glenn Youngkin, okay? Glenn Youngkin, who won on social issues, by the way. Don't forget that. Everyone's looking at Glenn Youngkin, the moderate. He's the moderate Republican who's just talking about taxes. No, when he was just talking about taxes, he was going to lose his race to Terry McAuliffe, the Democrat. He won when he started talking about critical race theory in schools. He won when he started talking about transgenderism in schools and the Loudoun County rape story that actually the Daily Wire broke, not to toot our own horn, but that was a major issue for flipping that race and handing Virginia to a Republican governor. It was the social issues. That's where people want moderation. We don't really care that much about marginal tax rates. I like low taxes, but people don't wake up in the middle of the night sweating because of tax rates. Right now, if you tell me, Michael, the Democrats might raise your taxes, and also they're going to pump your kids full of cross-sex hormones and chop off his genitals. So we're going to focus on the tax issue, right? I'd say, are you out of your mind? I don't give a damn about the taxes. compared to them transing my kid. That's what Republicans have to run on. That's where the real moderation is. I'm so glad you like that clip. We are this close to 1 million subscribers. And I can't wait to get 1 million because I know that's when YouTube is going to nuke my account. I know they're not going to let me get that high. So let's do it, baby. Let's accelerate. Head on over, ring that bell, click, ding dong, like, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Get the notifications for our new videos. We'll see you next time.